Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview. Everton versus Brighton Hove Albion. Can Everton make it 7 out of 7 ahead of the international break and ahead of a Merseyside derby? Oh my God, it's getting exciting, Baz. It is getting exciting. Just have a drink.
Apologies.
Just have a drink.
I thought you were carrying on. Yeah, it is getting exciting. It's been a fantastic start, hasn't it? And I think we said it the other day, when you're winning, you just can't wait for them to play again. But it's been a brilliant start. But, Saturday, it'll be a tough game. There's no question about that. I watched Brighton last week against Manchester United, and they were very unfortunate to lose the game. Hit the woodwork 5 times in that game. So Everton will have to be on, top form to beat them. But having said that, it's at home and we're playing really well. And it's a great opportunity for us to go top of the league again, but to keep up that win and run ahead of an international break without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, you don't look at it, do you, and go, it could be 7 wins in a row. It's one game. There's the potential, like you said, to win at home. We'd all expect Everton to beat Brighton at home every season, no matter what. And that's no disrespect to Brighton either. That's just something, as an Evertonian, you would think we should be capable of, and we, in general, we do that. So, they've had a tough start to the season, you'd say. Chelsea at home, Man United at home, Newcastle away, which they dispatched quite easily. They got beat, obviously, by Manchester United in the Carabao Cup. But I think they'd be quite optimistic with how they've started in terms of performances. You're right, last week against Manchester United, they played really well. They hit the woodwork, was it 5 times or something like that? It was ridiculous. So they're a threat. They're clearly a threat. Everton have just got to keep doing what we've been doing, haven't we? And hopefully it'll be enough. The confidence right now must be sky high. But obviously with someone like Carlo Ancelotti, that will be, it'll be confident, but it won't. I imagine it won't be arrogance. It'll be all about doing the job, going out there. And I think what we've seen certainly in the last couple of performances, Crystal Palace away and West Ham at home in the League Cup, is just not steamrolling teams, just doing what we need to do, doing enough and grinding it out. Certainly against Palace it was a grind, and at times against West Ham we certainly when we went down to when we had the injuries against West Ham, we had to basically rejig the team very, very quickly. But we come through that little period of transition during the game to go on and win it quite comfortably at the end. So there seems to be a little bit of a toughness there as well, doesn't there?
Yeah, definitely, and a belief and calmness in what they're doing. I think that's a key aspect of it, is that the team, even in a bit of adversity against West Ham, were able to come through it. Richarlison restored our lead and then went off injured, and Allen went off injured, and instead of folding, we then went and added another 2 goals with them off the pitch, with Alex Iwobi and Abdoulaye Doucouré coming on. So I think what he's doing is they've managed to refocus the whole squad, re-energise the whole squad in the close season, the pre-season. Obviously, the 3 players have made a huge difference to us. But the players who are at the club anyway have really stepped up. And the lads who aren't in the team at the moment, they're having to step up to try to force their way into the team. So that creates a healthy competition. And, we're confident, we're winning games, we're playing well, we're scoring goals. It was another 4 goals the other night. We look like we can score goals at will almost. And that has to continue. We'll have to play well at the weekend, like I said before. Brighton are a decent side, and okay, they were beaten 3-0 at home by United in midweek, but and I know half of the team, that was the same half of the team that played against United at the weekend, but they'll bring fresh people back into it. Yeah. We'll have to be wary of them, but we are flying at the minute. And like I say, I'd be quite confident playing anybody this Saturday because we are playing really well. There'll be moments in the season when we won't be playing as well and you will be a bit nervous about games. But when you're on a good run like we are and playing the way we are, you just want the games because the team is playing brilliantly at the minute.
Yeah, and think about the Premier League is there's no gimmies anyway. everyone's going to be tough. We obviously when we played West Brom, they gave us a really good game, and of course they went down to 10 men, but they still came out second half and scored and made it very difficult for us. Every game's tough, and certainly at this stage of the season, when there's clubs have got a lot of fresh players, they've got a lot of players available. It's always difficult. The confidence is still there. We haven't got into the tough days yet, even though we've played a lot of games because of the League Cup, and Brighton will have as well. So I just think we have to go and just keep doing what we're doing, and that, I suppose, listen, at the time of recording, we don't know what the injury situation is. We probably won't know what the injury situation will be up right till the kickoff. I imagine if there's a chance for Alan and Richarlison to start the game, then they'll be given every single chance, because they're both so important to the team. But if they're not available, did you see enough against West Ham from other players that they could step in and do a job?
Yeah. It'll be a big blow, of course it will, to lose both of those players. They've both been huge in everything we've done so far. Richarlison's a key player for us. We know that he's a fantastic footballer. It's his work rate, his ethic, as well as having that ability to pull some magic out and score a goal from nothing. So he'll be a big miss. But I think Alex Iwobi come on and did well the other night. Iwobi's not at that same level. Of course he's not, in terms of what Richarlison can do. But Alex Iwobi's a clever footballer and has to play well. And on top of that, you've also got someone like Bernard who can go in there and do a decent job as well. So ideally, and fingers crossed, we've got Richarlison available. And hopefully Moise Kean will have overcome his illness and be back on the bench at the weekend to give us that threat from a forward position. Fabian Delph really surprised me the other night. I thought he played quite well against West Ham. And for the game, I feel as though he could go and sit in that number 6 role. It's where he played. So we'd have a little bit of it. Listen, it's not the same as Alan, because I think Alan's been fantastic for us in the game so far. But Delph can go in and do his job in that midfield. So as long as you've still got the Corey in there and you've still got James in there, and if we could get Richarlison fit enough to play, or if not, if it's Iwobi or Bernard, I still feel like we've got enough quality to win the game, definitely. But losing Richarlison, who is a goal threat, will be a big blow. There's no question about it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, because it is the last game before an international break, and obviously if we could get those two players through the game, I think that would be, and then if there is sort of, you can get players through games genuinely, as long as it's not a terrible injury. You can manage them through, even though it's just like an hour, and then they'll have a couple of weeks break before the next game, and whether I don't even know at this moment whether they've been called up to, if Brazil have even got a game. I don't even know. I've not heard anything. So they could both have a couple of weeks rest, and hopefully that would be enough time for the Merseyside derby. So unless it was a really bad one, obviously Richarlison thinks got a twist, so they can be, if there's a swelling and stuff, sometimes it's just even getting your foot in a boot can be a problem. So that's. We'll have to wait and see. For me, I think Richarlison's a very, very tough one, because I don't think anyone else can do the job he does for Everton. I really don't. I know we've been talking up James Rodriguez and how amazing he is, but I think Richarlison on that left-hand side, he's so energetic and he works so hard for the team, and I just don't think we've got anyone like that. Alan has been absolutely fantastic for us. Could we do with him without one game? Well, possibly so, like you mentioned there. Delph had a decent game against West Ham, and if he can, I don't think he would do the same job as Alan, but I think on the ball, he does want to move it forward. He does want to get it forward. I don't think he does the same job, which might restrict the fullbacks a little bit if you haven't got him in there. We'll have to wait and see. It'll be a blow if either of them is out for the game.
Yeah, of course it will. You've got a team that's playing really well, winning, scoring loads of goals. Everyone knows the jobs. They just fitted in brilliantly. because the good players, of course, it'll be a blow, but it's an opportunity, isn't it? It's an opportunity for Fabian Delph of Alonso to stake a claim and to show that he can do a job for Everton, or he can certainly fill in and be an important squad member. Because at the minute, we've not seen anything of him since he signed from City, really, have we? So it's, an opportunity for him. But fingers crossed, both of them are somehow fit, and they can take the pitch in this one. But there is players who can come in if not.
Well, ultimately, injuries happen, and injuries and suspensions will happen during the season, and people lose form and things like that. So these things are gonna happen. Of course, they're gonna happen, and it's how you deal with those. With not having the players, of course, you don't want 2, 3, 4 at a time. You don't even want a couple really, but they will happen. So the team's absolutely flying at the moment, and with someone like Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front and the form he's in, you mentioned he's been called up for England as well. The form he's in, the confidence he's showing, the work rate, the different types of goals he's getting as well. Brighton will be very, very wary of him, won't they?
Yeah, you'd have to be. You're coming up to a game and there's a lad who's 8 goals in 5 games this season. Consecutive hat-tricks in Goodison home games. You've got to be wary of him. Scored again at the weekend at Palace. You're going to have to look out for him. And Dom is big and strong and quick enough to cause these issues. I think it's easier if Richarlison's in the side as well, because they have to worry about him, so it frees Dom up. But when you've got a player like James Rodriguez in your team as well, he can open games up from nowhere. I think it'll be a tough game for Everton. I said it last week watching Brighton, it'd be a tough game. I thought they were very unlucky against United, and the way they line up, they can cause you real issues. If you look at the lineup, have you got the lineup there?
I will put the lineup on the screen right now.
So this is how they lined up last week against Manchester United. So obviously Webster, Lewis Duncan, Ben White in a back three. They play basically it is a 3-4-3. Lamptey has been fantastic since coming in at that right wing back, so he's a real threat. So that'll be interesting, him against Luca Dean at the weekend. Solly March was brilliant against Manchester United. Found a lot of space on that back post, which Everton will have to be wary of. That's not, especially with James on the right, doesn't tend to track back as much as, say, Richarlison does, so we will have to be wary of that. And then obviously Trossard floats anywhere along that front three, and then you've got Maupay and Connolly, who is known to Evertonians for
being a massive diver.
Huge diver, but he's a live wire. But Maupay's a good little player as well, and I was really impressed with Alzati last week. Thought he was really good against United, and obviously we know all about Adam Lallana in there as well. So it's going to be a tough game. They got good players, but then Everton have got excellent players. So as tough a game as it will be, I've no doubt about that. It's a game that I feel Everton.
It'd be interesting as well, from the other side of it as well, just from our point of view, is the we talked about the injuries there, but also the conditioning side of things as well. James Rodriguez played the 90 minutes against West Ham United. How is, people have always mentioned, haven't they, since we signed him, about injuries and his fitness levels and all this kind of thing. Be interesting to see, going from the Wednesday night to the Saturday after playing 90 minutes, what he's like as being our key man as well, because he'll be so important on the ball for us, open up the space. I mean, obviously, listen, the likes of Michael Keane, the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, no issues with at all. Decore only played 15-20 minutes. Andre Gomes wasn't even involved. Seamus Coleman came on for 50 minutes, played
an hour.
So he should be okay with that as well. So that to me is the interesting factor, is James Rodriguez, just seeing what he's got. But the manager will have known. The manager probably would have liked maybe even only played 70 minutes Wednesday or whatever. But they'll know what his levels are, and knowing that it's how much it catches up with you in the season, isn't it, rather than just 2 games. Because you would imagine he'd be able to play a couple of games and then have a couple of weeks off. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
No, isn't he going with Colombia though? Haven't they got? They've got qualifiers, I think. But if it was a league game, he'd have been playing.
Yeah.
We said it before. So he's in good form and good health at the moment, and that's all you want. Brighton are unbeaten in their last 8 Premier League away games.
Thanks, Baz.
3 wins and 5 draws they've had. And they've won 3 of the last 4 on the road. So obviously they're dangerous. They're averaging 14.7 shots a game in the league this season, which is the highest rate in any of their previous Premier League campaigns. And their XG rate's also the highest it's been. So obviously big improvements from Potter's side this season. Brighton hit the woodwork 5 times in their 3-2 defeat last week. The most the team has done so in a Premier League match since 2003-04 season. Everton have had 59 10-plus pass sequences in open play in the Premier League this season, averaging at 19.7 a game. Only Liverpool have had more. Last season they averaged just 7.7, ranking 11th overall. It's going to be Carlo Ancelotti's 100th Premier League game in charge at the weekend. He's won 59, drawn 19 and lost 21 so far. Only 5 managers won more of their first 100 in the competition than the Italian. Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Pellegrini, Alex Ferguson and Roberto Mancini. And Everton's Dominic Calvert-Lewin has scored in each of his last 3 Premier League, each of his 3 Premier League games this season, netting 5. The last English player to score in 4 consecutive games from the Toffees was...
Go on.
Francis Jeffers.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So, there you go.
Interesting stuff.
So, like I say, it's going to be... I think it'll be a good game. I think they're a decent side. They knock it around well. I think it'll be a tough game for us. But I'd be wrong and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't expecting Everton to win the game, albeit it'll be a very, very tight game. I could see maybe a 3-2 or something like that. But a tough game.
Interesting.
A tough game indeed.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think all the games in the Premier League so far have been open for everyone. I think no fans there. I think everyone fancies it. No one's worried too much now at the moment about home advantage and about playing away. I think Brighton will think they've got nothing to lose. They want to knock Everton off their little perch that we've created for ourselves this season. And I think it's going to be a very, very open game, and hopefully the luck is with us rather than with Brighton. So there you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments anyway on this one. Are you expecting an Everton victory? Are you a little bit worried about Brighton? If you're a Brighton fan, tell us what's been good. Tell us what's been bad about your side so far this season. Make sure to give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want more great videos, live videos earlier than they go on YouTube, join us over on Patreon. The link is in the description. See you later.